Hey guys, welcome back to Senegalese Twisted. Today I'm back again with another video on Maîtresse de nos mariés, and today I'm going to review episode 50, which is unfortunately also the last episode. However, the episode was 1 hour and 15 minutes, so I've decided to make two parts. And this is part one. Definitely be on the lookout for part two, because at the end of that video I definitely have a interesting announcement to make, and I'm sure that some of you will get excited. So let's get into the episode. So the episode started with this radio guy just talking about happiness and love and how there can be tragedy and happiness, and that was crazy. And then you saw that Hamid and Maîtresse were actually doing this crazy exercise at the beach, and oh my god, even Maîtresse started like crying, shouting and everything. And Hamid actually said something really interesting, which was like, so ladies, you guys there are people that owe me really big, and ladies, the day I come to collect, you know, my dues, you're going to regret the fact that you made a deal with me. And I really think that he means Philly and Lala, because you guys remember a few episodes ago he made a deal, or a kind of a deal, with them. In the next scene you see that Lala is actually pregnant, and she's actually really happy and thanking God. And then she hears the voice, which is like Lala 2.0, saying that but what about what you did? Aren't you scared, you know? And you need to hurry up, because she needs to talk to somebody. And then it goes to the scene in the hospital, where you actually see that Rocky's going to a specialist, I believe. I think that Lala herself is going to the therapist. Maîtresse is going to the gynecologist, and Jalika is also going to the specialist. And mommy is actually already at the hospital. And then you see that they're all hesitating on whether or not to open the door, so to get their treatment, or you know, to actually be confronted by their health. And I was really happy to see that mommy was actually alive. Thank you, Marodi TV. So Maîtresse gets the news that her uterus is actually, you know, deformed, and that she's unable to have children. And then this woman screams like, what I'm not able to have children, my marriage is over, he's going to divorce me, and I need to have children because otherwise my marriage is over. And one thing that the doctor actually said is, you need to know that having a child is never ever going to resolve your marital problems. And I think that that was really important, because I think that a lot of people actually think that once you have children, everything goes well in your marriage. But the thing is like the opposite, because children are so stressful, and most of the people that have children, I think that like being a parent is like 99% of the time you do not even know what you're supposed to be doing. I'm just saying, like, I don't have children, but that's what I think. And another thing is that Lala hears this, and because she's also at the hospital, and she's also there for other problems, her own problems, and she hears this. And then Lala 2.0 actually comes up, sits down and talks to her. And Lala 2.0 is actually telling her like, you know what, this could have been your victory, but yeah, you were not patient, and why could you not have been more patient, because this could have been your victory, and why did you do what you had to do? And she was actually really sad, and Lala 2.0 was really calm this time, and she was like, you know what, the bad has already been done. Okay, so one thing that really annoyed me was when Jalika actually heard that she got breast cancer, because the doctor was like, oh, so are you alone? Didn't you bring anyone? Isn't there someone we can talk to? Somebody else? And I'm like, doctor, the patient is right in front of you. Whatever this patient has, you can just tell this person. Like, it's so like degrading, like as if to say that, you know, you are a woman. Maybe it's not even based on sex, but it's more like, well, you are a woman, you cannot even handle this. And I do understand that the news that she got was really loaded and everything, but I do think it's disrespectful to tell a person like, oh, isn't there someone else I can talk to? And then he continues to say, because Jalika, she's really, you know, forward, and she's like, well, doctor, I'm here, just tell me what's wrong. And then the doctor continues to say that there's nothing wrong, it's nothing. And I'm like, but what is it? And then he's like, you got breast cancer and it's stage 2 and it's basically uncurable. And I'm like, this is your nothing? Like, I don't understand. And I think that Jalika really got, you know, upset, and she was really stressing, kind of. She was telling the doctor like, yeah, but I cannot leave my children behind, they're so young. And the doctor was actually really telling her like, no, it's fine. And because Jalika was actually also saying like, no, I cannot have cancer, how can that, you know, overcome me? And I think that maybe this scene was more focused on the fact that maybe in Senegalese culture people don't think that cancer is something that exists within like Senegalese people, and that Senegalese people cannot have cancer, or that cancer cannot be, you know, treated or cured in Senegal. Because he kept saying that no, you can have cancer, people in Senegal do get cancer, and you can also be treated here. So I think that that was the main message. However, I do think that Marodi TV has been putting a lot of ish on Jalika's back, because why also throw in cancer? I mean, she already had a cancer, which was Biram, and she got rid of it. I mean, she should be able to beat this one. I hope so. Otherwise, her mom needs to repent ASAP, because we need Jalika to thrive and be alive. So then you have the scene where each of the women actually either leave the door and go their own way, because we now know that Lala had good news that she's pregnant. However, she did not go into the room. She was just in the waiting room, and she did hear, you know, Marem actually scream that she will never be able to have children. And Marem did not get good news. Jalika did not get good news. Mommy, she's probably still depressed and wondering why she's still alive and what to do next, so she's also a bit depressed. And then you have Rocky, who actually got good news. I don't know why she had a test or something, but she got good news actually. And then you actually see the footage where you actually see, for example, Jalika go around the corner, and then you see Mommy come in, and then you see the other women, and then they all sit at the square where you had these benches. And so it's like Jalika sits here with Lala, and then you have Raki sitting, I believe, by herself, and then on the other side you have Mommy, and next to her it's Marem. And the most beautiful thing about this is that they don't even, you know, they're so occupied by their own thoughts that they don't even notice each other. And I think that this is so symbolic to life, because I believe that it doesn't matter whether you have good news or bad news. I believe that everybody's always consumed by their own thoughts and their own problems, their own happiness and everything. So sometimes we do not even notice other people's happiness, other people's, you know, misfortune, because we're so consumed by whatever it is that we're living. However, in this scene, we all know that, for example, Jalika got the worst news, and Marié also, but still it's like the others were still not, you know, consumed or even aware of the other people's presence. And I think that that was really beautiful. And then you have actually Mummy, you know, looking up and actually taking in her environment, and then she notices that, you know, Marié is sitting next to her. And then she just looks up and she sees Jalika, and then she stands up and she goes. And then whenever she goes, I believe that Lala is actually trying to console Jalika and actually, you know, chin up, head up. And then Marié actually notices, you know, movements, and is actually also taking in her environment and actually seeing that Lala is trying to console Jalika, but Lala does not know that Jalika and Marié were actually best friends. And because Lala actually puts her chin up, she actually also gets a chance to see Marié. And whenever they see each other, they just stand up, they just walk towards each other, and they just hug for the longest time. And that's also when Lala actually stands up and leaves. And I think that was really respectful of Lala, because she could have also be like, okay, what's going on? But of course she heard, and Marié does not know this, but still I thought that was really respectful. It was really beautiful, touching moments. Rocky actually, you know, came to see Maki because apparently he's preparing for his wedding himself. And Rocky was actually telling him that, you know what, happiness suits you really well, and love is like this crazy thing because it can give you everything, but it can also bring, you know, hurt or disappointment. And then she continues to say that she actually wished, or, you know, hoped that they would, you know, live a true love together. However, someone else has his heart. And then she did say that she hopes that Jalika will love him as much as she does. And then Maki actually told her that, you know what, you are a sister to me, and I'm so happy that my children will have you as an auntie. And I am praying or asking God, hoping that you'll get a good husband, you know, that suits you well and treats you well as well. So I think that that was really beautiful also, because we know at the beginning Rocky was not cool with Jalika at all, but I also am glad to see that, you know, she actually turned around and was able to tell him that, you know, I really wish that we could have lived this love, and I do put your happiness above anything else, so I do understand why you love Jalika and that you're gonna marry her, and I do wish you the best. And I think that that was really big of her. So then we come at this crazy scene where you see Cher and his mom Marié actually visiting Rocky's house. And Rocky's actually getting married, so they're bringing, you know, wedding presents. But Cher's mom is actually really a bit surprised that he has a high esteem of his employee, because Cher does tell him that, you know what, Rocky, she's such a good employee, she knows her work, she does her work well, she's polite, and she works just really hard. And at the end he actually said, if I could have a younger sibling, I would have her as a younger sibling. And when he said that, I knew that that would be delivered. So his mom was actually like, oh really, would you have her as a sibling? But I think that he meant instead of Biram because he's the total opposite. And okay, then Raki's mom comes in, and she actually does not recognize Cher's mom, I believe, but I do think that Cher's mom actually recognizes her. And then you have this flashback, and in the flashback it's like this woman shouting, oh my god, I lost my husband, he's dead. And she's really like crying and shouting. And at one point the doctor comes in and he's like, ma'am, you gotta really be strong out here, because there's your sister who is actually in a coma, and or she, you know, she's also hurt and she's actually pregnant, so you need to be strong for her. And I think that the doctor just assumed it's her sister, but it was actually Raki's mom who was pregnant of Raki. And then you see the next scene where she actually barges into the room and starts attacking Raki's mom, because she's actually shouting like, yeah, this is your fault, and this happened and that happened, and I'm gonna kill you all because you all put this on me, everything, you know. And she was really out there for revenge. So when she snaps back out of that flashback, Cher is like, mom, are you okay? And he's like, and she's like, are you bringing all these gifts for these people? They're not even worth it. And then she continues, because of course Cher is like, mom, you can't just speak to these people, because in his mind his mom doesn't know this woman and she's just talking, you know, basing it off of appearance, but there's a whole history that he doesn't know. So she continues by saying that, yeah, and the only reason why you don't have a dad is because of this woman. And then, you know, Raki's mom is actually telling Cher that, you know what, Cher, if these were like in other circumstances, you'd be the person that would give Raki away for her marriage. And he's like, huh, why? And she continues to say that, you know, because you guys, you share blood, you guys have the same father. And that's where he, you know, gets hurt and actually faints. Then you have Amsa at this hair salon, or this store where they sell hair and everything, and two girls come in and they're actually talking about something that they saw on social media. And one of these girls is like, oh my god, she's so pretty, and how could you have done this? And the other one actually says that, you know, she should actually kill herself because there is no place in life for her anymore, and you know what, she should just kill herself. And then Amsa's like, hey girls, what are you guys talking about? Like, and then they show her, and because it's, you know, Madam's sex tape, she already knows what's up, and she knows that she needs to bounce, and bounce is what she did. She just took the girl's phone and actually ran off, went into the cab, and she was gone. And these girls were even like running after her and like, oh my god, my phone, my phone. And Amsa was like, you know what, you just buy another phone because I have an emergency. Then you see actually that Marem is crying and kind of reminiscing the times, and Amsa is still trying to call her and getting a hold of Marem. And then you see Marem sleeping, and then she finally picks up. Don't ask me how, why, but the first thing that Amsa says to Marem is, don't do anything, don't go on social media, I'll be right there. And what do you do when somebody tells you to not do something? you do it. So Mariam actually goes on social media, sees herself, and she goes crazy. And that stuff, it was so predictable.